Hi, everybody. I'm here with a good friend, Wes Smith. He's a fellow social worker. Wes is an LCSW. He's worked in the school system in Fairfax County for over 25 years. So Wes knows what it's like to be on the front lines. And a man of many talents, a yoga instructor, a musician, and a wonderful human being. And so I thought of all my acquaintances, I thought Wes would be the person I'd want to talk to about gratitude and appreciation and keeping yourself afloat. So that said, my first question, Wes, in your more than 25 years working as a social worker in FCPS, what are some of the challenges you have faced in maintaining well-being and avoiding burnout?
Challenges that I've faced. I think a big piece in my job would be sort of isolation, that there's not a lot of time to talk to other people in the helping profession in the schools. So whenever we would get a chance to be together, really taking that opportunity to try and debrief a little bit, see what other people are doing, see how they're doing, and just trying to keep a connection. So I guess the biggest part is disconnection, and then trying to find the connection.
Well, in that, and that is a major factor in burnout in the helping professions, is when you don't feel that collegial support. What have you used on your daily basis to kind of keep yourself afloat in the middle of that?
Finding colleagues that I could talk with in my buildings. Outside the building, the administration was supportive, but they weren't there. So finding colleagues within the building that you could take a minute and have a laugh, share a story, just sort of talk about what's going on and get a sense of them sort of outside of work, because talking about fun stuff helps. So hearing about their kids or their trips and sharing my trips and things, I found that to be helpful. Just being able to talk about something that wasn't work was helpful.
It's interesting because a interview I did right before this one in the sequence is about mental health and connection. And that's really what you're talking about, is connection is so important as humans to sustain us. I know you've gone into yoga to the point that now you're a yoga instructor. What role does that play in your daily well-being regimen?
I find having a daily practice, I found that my health overall is better, and it does lift my mood. It gives me a routine. It gives me something that I look forward to doing, and then sort of just the health benefits of a yoga practice. But it gives me kind of a discipline, a grounding. And I've been able to share that with my students, not only at the studio I teach at, but with the students in my schools. I've had very supportive principals who've said, yeah, go ahead and do yoga. I've had staff at the schools doing yoga with me. One of my principals actually became a student at my yoga studio. I thought was really cool. But being able to share that with the kids and just watching them light up and their imagination when I just tell them to do a pose, and just watching what they do and seeing how much fun they have. So that's recharging, being able to do something in that capacity that's good for them, giving them some little tips for their day, even if they don't know that that's what they're doing. So that's rewarding, and that's very helpful. And I think the yoga, both personally and then being able to ease it in professionally, because it wasn't always that way. When I first started practicing and teaching, not that there was pushback, but it wasn't, people weren't as receptive. And I heard horror stories about parents that just were not having their kids doing any yoga. Nope, 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 nope. But the attitude has changed since yoga is now so mainstream. It's in almost every other commercial. There's yoga. The kids know what it is. I always ask them, how many of your moms do it? How many of your dads? How many of your grandma? How many grandpa? And a lot of hands go up for each one. So it's becoming more, I guess, acceptable and sort of mainstream. So being able to push in and do it in different classes with different age levels, it's very rewarding and recharging.
It's also so helpful to integrate body and mind and get the stress out of your being. I can't think of a better technique actually for de-stressing. The other thing about you that I've noticed in our years of hanging out is that you seem to have this ability, even when tough stuff is happening, to somehow find the positives in your life and the things around you that you appreciate and within you, and in your connections with people and what you appreciate in the people you're connected to. And so how do you keep yourself focused on the positives even when life is throwing you curveballs? How do you do that?
I will point to friends and family who are always pointing that out also. Being a child of divorce twice, and watching, how my parents sort of kept going through it all for themselves, and how my mom kept going for me and my brother. There's more to gain from being positive than there is from being negative. So trying to find those things and those people that will lift you up pretty much and will prop you up when you're feeling down and low and it's just things are hard, but having friends and family around that are positive. And I think back to connection, if you connect with those kind of people, it rubs off. Same as if you surround yourself with negative people, you'll have negativity on yourself, your health, just your outlook on life. So finding those people that can throw a ray of sunshine your way when you're feeling kind of in the clouds, it's very helpful. So connection, back to connection.
That seems to be the key word. And in social work as a field, we focus on that and the power of connections. When you're having a particularly difficult day, are there favorite things you have that lift you up?
Yes. And I've been having particularly hard days over the past year, and music is always, I always have music playing in the background, whether it's on my laptop at work. And people have come into my office because I don't actually have an office. I'm in the library, but when they come in, I've usually got some sort of, soothing jazz or new age or something. And they always say when they come in there, they feel so much calmer when they leave. So I believe in the power of music. So there's always music. Going for walks, nature is very healing and grounding. If you can be out in nature, that's always grounding. Pets, always had a dog or two. And pets, they unconditional love and just joy seeing them when you come home, or their joy in seeing you when you come home. And then, of course, your joy seeing them being so happy that you're home. My wife was a big part of keeping me grounded and keeping me positive. Finding things that we could do together that we enjoyed, that brought us peace, little day trips, hikes, that kind of thing. So again, the connection to the people, but music and getting out in nature if you can, or any other creative outlet. Mine just happens to be music, but if you're an artist or whatever medium you choose, but to be able to find that outlet, and it doesn't have to be for anybody but yourself, but you enjoy it, it helps you, and that's all that matters. If somebody else likes it, great. If not, you're not doing it for them anyway. So you're doing it for your own mental health. So if they like it, that's a bonus.
Well, music tends to speak right to our hearts. And the creative process, I think, is what a huge part of what makes us human.
Yeah.
Um, and again, connection. You mentioned connection. Um, so you're somebody, along with the positivity I've noticed in our friendship, I've always felt um, incredibly caring for others. And you've picked a profession where you nurture kids, you take care of families, you're constantly, even in your community, you're connecting to people. And what in your life led you to a profession and a path of caring?
Being a child of divorce twice, I think that created some voids or some wounds that I wanted to heal for myself, but also help others that were kind of facing the same thing, because I'm not the only one. So there's a lot of life experiences that everybody's going through, and I wanted to be able to help kids. Because I remember in elementary school, the school psychologist and I would meet and talk, and I always remember that and remember him as, not necessarily the words, but the feeling and the connection to just being with him and having someone listen and just be there. So I wanted to do that for other people. And I figured, well, this is the best, one of the best professions to do it in, if not the only, but one of the best to do that in. So my own, personal life experiences kind of led me to that path. And it's 25 years later, I'm still on it.
I kind of share a similar story, um, child of divorce as well, and trying to find my way. And that sense of nurturing others and connecting is so important. And
Yeah.
what you mentioned, just that one experience of one caring adult is something that sustained you. Um, so as we conclude this, would you be willing to share like kind of a gratitude exercise or some way that you kind of tune in to that part of yourself? Um,
Um, well, every morning when I'm walking the dog and, feeling the sun coming up, um, I just sort of have a gratitude prayer for the day. And some days I might skip it because I'm not feeling it. But for the most part, I do that every morning when I'm walking, and, just give thanks for food and friends and family and experiences, places I've been, things I've seen, lessons I've learned, lessons I've taught. Just gratitude for everything that comes your way, whether it's uh, could be perceived as negative or positive. It just sort of is, and both are teachers. So, life is a teacher. There's harder lessons and then there's easier lessons, but just sort of giving thanks for life as it unfolds, I guess. So, but every morning there's a gratitude prayer. So
um, does it have a specific formula, or is it more like
it
what you just said?
rhymes.
Would you feel uncomfortable sharing it?
um, uh, uh, no, I can share it.
I'd
um,
love to hear it. But
Well, it's good morning, Mother Earth, Father Sky, Mother Moon, Father Sun. Thank you for the food I will eat and have ate, for the people I will meet and have met, for the places I have been and will be, for the things I have seen and will see, for the lessons I have learned and have taught, for the things I've been gifted and have bought. Um, uh, and may the food that I eat nourish my body and my journey of self through the self to the self. And as it harm no one, so mote it be.
That's absolutely beautiful.
But the rhyming thing helps me remember it.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely beautiful. Um, I'm feeling incredible gratitude just that you took the time to share all this with us. And I really appreciate this.
Oh, well, I
Thank you,
appreciate
Wes.
that you asked. Thank you.
Of course.
And I appreciate our friendship over all these years.
Me too. We've gone through a lot in a way.
We
And
have.
I think our musical bond and our other bonds have gone a long way to sustain me. And so
Good.